हेलो एवरीबॉडी। आज हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं जनवरी 2022 के करंट अफेयर्स एंड उसके साथ साथ आई विल आल्सो गिव यू सम ब्रीफ इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट देम। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। NITI Ayog released the Northeastern Region District SDG Index with support from which institution? So NITI in this question stands for National Institution for Transforming India. And the options are option A UNDP, option B UNICEF, option C World Bank, option D WTO. So the correct answer for this question is option A UNDP. UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program. सो नीति आयोग ने जो नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन डिस्ट्रिक्ट SDG इंडेक्स जो तैयार किया, जो रिलीज़ किया, उसमें उन्होंने टेक्निकल सपोर्ट UNDP से लिया, विच इज़ ऑल्सो यूनाइटेड नेशंस डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम. The index measures the performance of the district of the 8 northeastern states. A district-wise index is being prepared in the country for the first time. This SDG index will be used as a base for planning various development and welfare activities, education, healthcare. So जो इंडेक्स रिलीज़ किया गया है, इट मेजर्स द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ द 8 नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स. अ डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज इंडेक्स इज़ बीइंग प्रिपेयर्ड इन द कंट्री फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. मतलब ऐसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज इंडेक्स जो प्रिपेयर हुआ है कंट्री में, हमारी कंट्री में पहली बार हुआ है. This SDG index will be used as a base for planning various development and welfare activities. मतलब जो SDG index है, जो prepare हुआ है, जो release हुआ है, will be acting as a base for planning various development and welfare activities, education and healthcare. Moving on to the next question. Which institution released the Women and Girls Left Behind Glaring Gaps in Pandemic Responses report? Options are option A, World Economic Forum, option B World Bank, option C UN Women, option D NITI Ayog. So the correct answer for this question is option C UN Women. United Nations Women recently released a new report titled Women and Girls Left Behind Glaring Gaps in Pandemic Responses. As per the report, women were less likely to receive COVID-19 relief from government. At least 29% of working mothers living with children lost their jobs, compared to 20% of working men living with children. Single women living with children were left behind more as per the report. तो इस रिपोर्ट में वुमेन एंड गर्ल्स लेफ्ट बिहाइंड ग्लेयरिंग गैप्स इन पैंडेमिक रिस्पॉन्सेज, इस रिपोर्ट में ऐसा स्टेट किया गया है कि वुमेन वर लेस लाइकली टू रिसीव COVID-19 रिलीफ फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट. मतलब उनको थोड़े से जो COVID-19 के रिलीफ्स थे वो थोड़े कम मिले हैं, पर लेस लाइकली टू रिसीव देम. At least 29% of working mothers living with their children lost their jobs during the pandemic, as compared to 20% of working men living with children. And it is clear that more working mothers living with their children lost their jobs during the pandemic as compared to working men living with children. Single women living with children were left behind more as per the report. Let's come to the next question. E-Dakhil portal, which was seen in the news, is associated with which sector? The options are option A, right to information, option B, consumer complaints, option C, life certificate, option D, goods and services tax. So the correct answer for this question is option B, consumer complaints. So the union government has set up the E-Dakhil portal, which provides a fast and easy facility to consumers around the country to conveniently approach the relevant consumer forum. As per the recent rules released by the Consumer Affairs Ministry, district commissions has jurisdiction for complaints where value of goods or services not exceeding 50 lakh rupees. State commissions can look on complaints in range of 50 lakh rupees to 2 crore rupees. National Commission will have jurisdiction exceeding 2 crore rupees. Consumers can also file complaint electronically. Means that complaints where value of goods or services will be below 50 lakh rupees will come under district commissions, and complaints in range of 50 lakh rupees to 2 crore rupees will be under state commissions, and National Commission will have control on goods or services complaints above 2 crore rupees. Consumers can also file complaint electronically. So now moving on to the next question. Which country launched the Simok satellite carrier rocket with research devices? The options are option A, Bangladesh, option B, Iran, option C, Israel, option D, UAE. And the correct answer for this question is option B, Iran. Iran launched a rocket to send 3 research satellites into space on 30th December 2021. It was the Simog satellite carrier rocket that had launched the 3 research devices at an altitude of 470 kilometers, or you can also say in terms of miles, 290 miles, at an altitude of 290 miles and at a speed of 7,350 meters per second. तो जो ईरान ने रॉकेट लॉन्च किया था to send 3 research satellites into space, they launched the rocket on 30th December. It was the Simog. The rocket had launched the 3 research devices at an altitude of 470 kilometers, या फिर ये भी कह सकते हैं 290 miles. In terms of miles, it was launched at an altitude of 290 miles and at a speed of 7,350 meters per second, which we can also say like 7.35 kilometers per second. Moving on to the next question, the largest single transfer of white rhinos which was recently undertaken transferred 30 rhinos from dash to dash. And the options are option A, South Africa to Rwanda, option B, USA to Rwanda, option C, Kenya to USA, and option D, Russia to Rwanda. And the correct answer for this question is option A, South Africa to Rwanda. 30 white rhinos were transferred from South Africa to Rwanda in a Boeing 747 chartered plane. This is the largest single transfer of white rhinos ever undertaken. The rhinoceros species is threatened by illegal poaching. Southern white rhino, one of 2 subspecies of white rhino, is considered almost endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, which is also IUCN. Moving on to the next question. Which state government slashed 25 rupees per litre on petrol and diesel prices for 2-wheelers owned by the poor? The options are option A, Odisha, option B, Tamil Nadu, option C, Jharkhand, option D, Kerala. So the correct answer for this question is option C, Jharkhand. So Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren announced concession of 25 rupees per litre on petrol and diesel prices for 2-wheelers owned by the poor. The concession will be given for 10 litres of petrol for every month. An amount of 25 rupees per litre would be transferred to the bank account of poor ration card holders. This means that the concession will be given to poor 2-wheeler owners of 25 rupees per litre, एंड ये कंसेशन भी इनको पर मंथ 10 लीटर्स ऑफ पेट्रोल पे मिलेगा, मतलब 10 लीटर्स ऑफ पेट्रोल फॉर एवरी मंथ. 10 लीटर्स पेट्रोल पर उनको 25 रुपीज़ का कंसेशन मिलेगा, विच वुड बी ट्रांसफर टू द बैंक अकाउंट ऑफ पुअर राशन कार्ड होल्डर्स. Moving on to the next question. What is the deadline for KYC updation for bank accounts as per the recent notification of RBI? The options are option A, January 31st, 2022, option B, March 31st, 2022, option C, June 30th, 2022, option D, September 30th, 2022. The correct answer for this question is option B, March 31st, 2022. RBI, which is the Reserve Bank of India, has extended the deadline for KYC in bank accounts till March 31st, 2022 from the previous deadline of December 31st, 2021. The deadline has been extended again due to the surge in the Omicron variant of the coronavirus in the country. तो मतलब जो deadline थी, which was till 31st of December 2021, is now extended till March 31st, 2022 due to the surge in the Omicron variant of the coronavirus in the country. Moving on to the next question. What is the GST to be collected by food aggregators like Swiggy and Zomato from January 1st, 2022? मतलब कितने % GST Swiggy और Zomato से collect किया जाएगा from January 1st, 2022? And the options are option A 5%, option B 8%, option C 12%, option D 18%. So the correct answer for this question is option A 5%. तो 5% GST कलेक्ट किया जाएगा फूड एग्रीगेटर्स लाइक स्विगी एंड जोमेटो से January 1st, 2022 के बाद से. Moving on to the next question. What is the existing annual income limit for identification of economically weaker section EWS? Options are option A 6 lakh rupees, option B 8 lakh rupees, option C 9 lakh rupees, option D 10 lakh rupees. And the correct answer for this question is option B 8 lakh rupees. So 8 lakh rupees is the existing annual income limit for identification of economically weaker section. Let's move to the next question. Which Indian company has commissioned India's largest solar power project at Rajasthan? Options are option A Adani Power, option B Azure Power, option C Tata Power, option D Renew Power. The correct answer for this question is option B Azure Power. Azure Power announced the successful commissioning of its largest project, 600 MWs. MWs means milliwatt. 600 milliwatt interstate transmission system ISTS connected solar project allocated by Solar Energy Corporation of India SECI, which is the only authorized institution to sell electoral bonds in India. And the options are option A Reserve Bank of India, option B State Bank of India, option C NITI Aayog, option D Supreme Court. And the correct answer for this question is option B State Bank of India. SBI, which is State Bank of India, is the only authorized institution to sell electoral bonds in India. An electoral bond will be valid for 15 days from the date of issue. Let's move to the next question. Which ministry announced helpline numbers to help supply chains for e-commerce entities? The options are option A Ministry of Commerce and Industry, option B Ministry of MSME, option C Ministry of Labor and Employment, option D Ministry of Electronics and IT. So the correct answer for this question is Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which is option A. So DPIIT, which is the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Commerce Ministry, announced helpline numbers to help supply chains for e-commerce entities. The helplines will aid the manufacturing, transportation, distribution, wholesale or e-commerce companies for difficulties in transportation and distribution of goods or mobilization of resources. Moving on to the next question. Which is the most innovative educational institute of India in the technical category as per the ARIIA 2021 ranking? So ARIIA in this question stands for Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements. The options are option A IIT Kanpur, option B IIT Madras, option C IIT Bombay, and option D IIT Delhi. So the correct answer for this question is option B IIT Madras. In the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievement 2021 award list released, IIT Madras was named the most innovative educational institute of India in the technical category. IITM, which is also IIT Madras, has retained the top rank for 3 years in a row. Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology, College of Engineering, Pune and PSG College of Technology topped in their respective categories. Under non-technical institutions, the top central universities were IGNOU, which is Indira Gandhi National Open University, and IIM, which is the Indian Institutes of Management, and Korekode. Moving on to the next question. NEAT 3.0. NEAT in this question stands for National Educational Alliance for Technology. NEAT 3.0 is a platform associated with which union ministry? The options are option A Ministry of Education, option B Ministry of Labor and Employment, option C Ministry of Commerce and Industry, option D Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The correct answer for this question is option A Ministry of Education. So the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan launched National Educational Alliance for Technology NEAT 3.0. It is a single platform to provide best quality edtech solutions and courses to students of the country. The minister also launched AICTE, which is the All India Council for Technical Education, prescribed technical books in regional languages. It uses artificial intelligence for a personalized learning experience for better learning outcomes. Moving on to the next question. The new COVID variant named IHU B1640.2 has been discovered in which country? The options are option A, USA, option B, France, option C, Italy, option D, South Africa. The correct answer for this question is option B, France. So the IHU, the B1640.2 variant, has been reported by the researchers at the Institute IHU Mediterranean Infection. At least 12 cases are detected in the southern France. Moving on to the next question. Which institution released the Compendium on the Innovations on Technology? And the options are option A, World Bank, option B, NITI Aayog, option C, International Monetary Fund, and option D, World Economic Forum. The correct answer for this question is option B, NITI Aayog. So the NITI Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission released the Compendium on the Innovations on Technology. Innovations for You. Compendium focuses on the startups and innovations in the field of agriculture and allied services. It features the 70 startups supported by Atal Incubation Centers, which is AICs, of AIM. The indigenous tinkerers includes 41 innovations from Atal Tinkering Lab, which is also ATL. Let's move to the next question. Which country is the new member of the BRICS New Development Bank, NDB? Options are option A, Italy, option B, Egypt, option C, Israel, and option D, Bangladesh. The correct answer for this question is option B, Egypt. The BRICS New Development Bank (NDB) announced that it will add Egypt as its new member. NDB was established by BRICS nations, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa in the year 2015. Egypt is the fourth new member admitted into NDB. After Bangladesh, the United Arab Emirates, which is UAE, and Uruguay, Marcos Troillo is the president of NDB. Moving on to the next question. Plan B, which was seen in the news recently, is associated with which union ministry? Options are option A, Ministry of Railways, option B, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, option C, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and option D, Ministry of MSME. The correct answer for this question is option A, Ministry of Railways. So the Plan B was first implemented by the Northeast Frontier Railway (NFR) as a unique method to keep elephants away from railway tracks. Union Minister for Railway Ashwini Vaishnav informed that the railway is set to implement Plan B throughout the country. It uses an amplifying system to imitate the buzz of a swarm of honeybees. Moving on to the next question. IRDAI, which is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, has announced how many insurers as domestic systemically important insurers (DSIIs) for 2021 to 2022. The options are option A 1, option B 3, option C 4, and option D 5. The correct answer for this question is option B 3. So, insurance regulator IRDAI has announced that the state-owned LIC General Insurance Corporation and New India Assurance have been identified as domestic systemically important insurers (DSIIs) for 2021 to 2022. DSIIs are perceived as insurers that are too big or too important to fail, which is TBTF. Due to their size, market importance, and domestic and global interconnectedness, their failure would cause a massive impact in the domestic financial system. Moving on to the next question. Under India's semiconductor mission, financial support is provided for how many years? The options are option A 3, option B 5, option C 6, option D 10. The correct answer for this question is option C 6. So the Union Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav launched the India Semiconductor Mission (ISM). ISM is an independent business division within the Digital India Corporation. It aims to build a robust semiconductor and display ecosystem in India. A financial support of up to 50% of the project cost is approved for setting up variants of semiconductor fab in India. A financial support for 6 years is given from the date of approval. Which state or UT Union Territory recognized Takht Damdama Sahib as the fifth Takht of six? Options are option A Punjab, option B Delhi, option C Bihar, and option D Uttar Pradesh. So the correct answer for this question is option B Delhi. So Delhi Assembly passed an amendment bill to the Delhi Sikh Gurdwara Act 1971 to recognize Takht Damdama Sahib as the fifth Takht of six. A Takht or a throne is a seat of temporal authority for Sikhs. There are 5 Sikh Takhts, 3 in Punjab and 1 each in Maharashtra and Bihar. The amendment also adds one more ex officio member in the Delhi Sikh Gurdwara Management Committee DSGMC, housed from the earlier 4. Moving on to the next question. Which state signed MOU with Singapore-based LNG Alliance Company to set up its first LNG terminal? The options are option A Kerala, option B Karnataka, option C Telangana, and option D Gujarat. The correct answer for this question is option B Karnataka. So the Karnataka state government has signed a memorandum of understanding MOU with Singapore-based LNG Alliance Company for setting up the state's first LNG terminal. The first such terminal will be set up in Mangaluru, which we can also say Mangalore, in association with New Mangalore Port Trust NMPT with an investment of 2,250 crore rupees. Moving on to the next question. The subsidiary of which Indian company signed agreements on jointly developing the Trincomalee oil tank farm? The options are option A Indian Oil Corporation, option B Bharat Petroleum, option C Hindustan Petroleum, and option D Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. The correct answer for this question is option A Indian Oil Corporation. So Lanka IOC, which is Indian Oil Corporation, Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and the government of Sri Lanka signed lease agreements on jointly developing the Trincomalee oil tank farm. Indian Oil Corporation subsidiary Lanka IOC is set to run the 14 oil storage tanks, while CPC would run 24 tanks. Trinco Petroleum Terminal Private Limited would develop the remaining 61 tanks in a joint venture where 51% stakes will be held by CPC and 49% by Lanka IOC. Let's move to the next question. Which new technology sends signal to power plants every 4 seconds to maintain a constant frequency in India? Options are option A automatic generation control, option B automatic frequency control, option C frequent frequency control, and option D semi-layered frequency control. The correct answer for this question is option A automatic generation control. So the Union Minister for Power and New and Renewable Energy, Rajkumar Singh, has dedicated a new technology named Automatic Generation Control AGC to the nation. This technology would send signals to power plants every 4 seconds in order to maintain a constant frequency, thereby maintaining the reliability of India's power generation system. Moving on to the next question. Which state signed agreement with the National Dairy Development Board to create a 2,000 crore rupees dairy joint venture? Options are option A Punjab, option B Assam, option C Gujarat, and option D Arunachal Pradesh. So the correct answer for this question is option B Assam. So the Assam government and National Dairy Development Board signed an agreement to create 2,000 crore rupees joint venture for holistic development of the sector in the state. As per MOU, a joint venture company will be set up for 2,000 crore rupees with the target of processing 10 lakh litres of milk from 6 new units in 7 years. Foundation stone of dairy's expansion initiative under the World Bank funded Assam Agribusiness and Rural Transportation Project was also laid. Let's now move to the next question. The artificial sun is an ambitious project of which country? Options are option A Russia, option B USA, option C China, and option D India. So the correct answer for this question is option C China. So China is conducting experiment with an artificial sun which is dubbed as Experiential Advanced Superconducting Tokamak EAST for making way to clean energy in the future. The experiment started in December 2021 and is likely to last until June 2022. Moving on to the next question. How many states are covered in the second phase of the Green Energy Corridor scheme? The options are option A 3, option B 5, option C 7, and option D 10. So the correct answer for this question is option C 7. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs (CCEA) approved the second phase of the Green Energy Corridor scheme. Under the scheme, over 20 GW is gigawatt, 20 GWs of renewable energy projects will be installed across 7 states, namely Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh in this phase. The estimated cost of the scheme is 12,031 crore rupees, and 33% of the project cost will be provided as central financial assistance. Let's now move to the next question. Sanjay Lake is a wetland located in which state or UT, which is Union Territory? Options are option A Karnataka, option B New Delhi, option C Himachal Pradesh, and option D Andhra Pradesh. So the correct answer for this question is option B New Delhi. So the Asian Waterbird Census (AWC) is being carried out across 7 wetlands in the NCR. Hastinapur Wildlife Sanctuary, Dhanori and Surajpur wetlands in the Greater Noida, Delhi Zoo and Sanjay Lake, Okhla Bird Sanctuary, Najafgarh Jheel and the Yamuna River. Census recorded only 13 species in the Sanjay Lake, down from 17 species recorded from 2019 to 2021. The 2 migratory species recorded were the great cormorant, which migrates from Southeast Asia, and the Eurasian coot, which migrates from temperate Asia. Moving on to the next question. Electric bike taxi scheme is the initiative of which Indian state or UT, Union Territory? Options are option A Tamil Nadu, option B Odisha, option C Telangana, option D Karnataka. So the correct answer for this question is option D Karnataka. So the Karnataka electric bike taxi scheme was launched in Karnataka 6 months ago. It allowed private players, individuals, firms and aggregators to run electric bike taxis in Bangalore. Citizens can avail of the service for a maximum distance of 10 kilometers. However, the Transport Department has received only one application for a license. The state has not yet fixed the bike taxi fares. Let's now move to the next question. Global Economic Prospects Report is the flagship publication of which institution? Options are option A World Bank, option B International Monetary Fund, option C World Economic Forum, option D Asian Development Bank. The correct answer for this question is option A World Bank. So the Global Economic Prospects Report is the flagship report of World Bank. As per the latest report released, India's economy is estimated to contract by 3.2% in the current fiscal year 2020 to 2021. The report also expects the Indian economy would grow at 3.1% in the next fiscal year. In the earlier report released in April, the GDP growth rate for this fiscal year was predicted as 1.5% to 2.8% growth. The growth of next year was also earlier predicted at 6.1%. The report also highlighted that global economy will contract by 5.2% in 2020. Which union ministry instituted the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar? And the options are option A Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, option B Ministry of Rural Development, option C Ministry of Education, and option D Ministry of Women and Child Development. The correct answer for this question is option C Ministry of Education. So the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar was instituted by the Ministry of Education, formerly called as the Ministry of Human Resource Development, in 2016 to recognize the excellence in sanitation and hygiene practice in schools. The Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar SVP 2021 to 2022 was launched virtually. The subcategories are water, sanitization, hand washing with soap, operation and maintenance, behavior change and capacity building, and the newly added category on COVID-19 preparedness and response. So ये जो स्वच्छ विद्यालय पुरस्कार है, it was instituted by the Ministry of Education, which is also formerly called as Ministry of Human Resource Development. It was instituted by Ministry of Education and in 2016, and to recognize the excellence in sanitization and hygiene practices in schools, so that the schools are properly sanitized and proper care of hygiene is taken in schools. The Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar SVP 2021 to 2022 was launched virtually. So due to the surge of cases in COVID and Omicron and all that, the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar SVP was launched virtually. And the subcategories in SVP, which is the Swachh Vidyalaya Puraskar, the subcategories are water, sanitization, hand washing with soap, operation and maintenance, behavior change and capacity building, and the newly added category on COVID-19, preparedness and response. So these are the subcategories which come under SVP and जिनका ध्यान रखा जाएगा SVP के चलते proper sanitization and hygiene in schools. Moving on to the next question. Kumbalangi, India's first ever sanitary napkin free village, is located in which state? The options are option A, Tamil Nadu, option B, Kerala, option C, Karnataka, and option D, Odisha. So the correct answer for this question is option B, Kerala. So Kumbalangi became the first ever sanitary napkin free village in the country. It is located in the Ernakulam district of Kerala. It is a part of Avalki campaign, which is Avalki means for her campaign, being implemented in the Ernakulam constituency, under which menstrual cups are distributed to women aged 18 and above. Kumbalangi was declared a model village by Kerala governor. It also holds the title of India's first model tourist village. So Kumbalangi जो है, it became the first ever sanitary napkin free village in the country और ये located है Ernakulam district of Kerala. सो एर्नाकुलम एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट है केरला में, वहाँ पे ये लोकेटेड है कुंबालांगी विलेज. इट इज़ पार्ट ऑफ अवल्की कैंपेन. सो अवल्की मीन्स फॉर हर अवल्की कैंपेन being implemented in the Ernakulam constituency, under which menstrual cups are distributed to women aged 18 and above. Kumbalangi was declared a model village by the Kerala governor. It also holds the title of India's first model tourist village. Let's now move to the next question. Sabina Weiss, who passed away recently, was associated with which field? The options are option A, politics, option B, business, option C, photography, and option D, sports. The correct answer for this question is option C, photography. So, veteran photographer Sabina Weiss, renowned for her images on the streets of Paris, passed away at the age of 97. She was the last surviving member of France's Humanist Photography School. The photographer moved to Paris after the World War II. She was also regarded as pioneer of street photography, in which she captured the condition of ordinary people in Paris. So veteran photographer Sabina Weiss, veteran means जो अपने प्रोफेशन में बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस्ड हो और काफ़ी टाइम से उस प्रोफेशन में हो और उनको बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस हो अपने प्रोफेशन का. सो वेटरन फोटोग्राफर सबीना वाइस, रिनाउंड फॉर हर इमेजेस ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स ऑफ पेरिस. सो वो बहुत ज़्यादा जानी मानी हस्ती थी, एज यू कैन ऑल्सो से सबीना वाइस. She was renowned for her images on the streets of Paris. She passed away at the age of 97. She was also the last surviving member of France's Humanist Photography School. मतलब Humanist Photography School की वो last surviving member थी. The photographer moved to Paris after World War II. मतलब World War II के बाद Sabina Weiss Paris आई. She was also regarded as pioneer of street photography, in which she captured the condition of ordinary people in Paris. मतलब वो अपनी फ़ोटोग्राफी जो करती थी उनमें वो कैप्चर करती थी कंडीशन ऑफ ऑर्डिनरी पीपल इन पेरिस. लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Abdallah Hamdok, who announced his resignation recently, was the Prime Minister of which country? The option are option A, Israel, option B, Sudan, option C, Syria, and option D, Ghana. So the correct answer for this question is option B, Sudan. So Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok announced his resignation amid political deadlock and widespread pro-democracy protests. As part of an agreement with the military after the October coup, former UN official Hamdok was appointed as the Prime Minister. Now the military coup has again hindered the country's transition to democratic rule. Moving on to the next question. PM's Excellence Award is being awarded for which sector? Options are option A, sports, option B, public administration, option C, entrepreneurship, and option D, education. So the correct answer for this question is option B, public administration. The Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, which is DARPG, awards the Prime Minister's Awards for Excellence in Public Administration since 2006. Union Minister Jitendra Singh has recently launched the web portal for PM's Excellence Award. So मतलब एक वेब पोर्टल भी लॉन्च हो चुका है PM's Excellence Award का, whose registrations began. The prize money was doubled this year from 10 lakh rupees to 20 lakh rupees. मतलब जो प्राइज मनी थी वो पहले 10 लाख रुपीज़ थी बट अब डबल होके 20 लाख रुपीज़ हो गई है. द स्कीम वाज रीस्ट्रक्चर्ड इन 2020 टू रिकॉग्नाइज द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर्स टुवर्ड्स इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द डिस्ट्रिक्ट. Let's now move to the next question. Houthi movement, which was seen in the news, is based at which country? The options are option A, Yemen, option B, Syria, option C, Qatar, option D, Iraq. The correct answer for this question is option A, Yemen. So Houthi movement is an Islamist political and armed movement which emerged from northern Yemen in the 1990s. The Iran-aligned Houthi movement said it had carried out an attack on the United Arab Emirates. Abu Dhabi police said 3 fuel tanker trucks exploded near storage facilities of oil firm ADNOC. So ADNOC stands for Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. And a fire broke out at a construction site at Abu Dhabi International Airport. So 3 fuel tanker trucks exploded near storage facilities of oil firm ADNOC, which is Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. तो 3 fuel tankers explode हुए near ADNOC, near its storage facilities, and also a fire broke out at a construction site at Abu Dhabi International Airport. So let's now move to the next question. Which country proposed P3 pro-planet people movement during the WEF Davos Agenda 2022? So WEF is World Economic Forum Davos Agenda 2022. The options are option A, USA, option B, Russia, option C, India, and option D, UK. So the correct answer for this question is option C, India. So Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi introduced the P3 pro-planet people movement to underline India's climate change commitments at World Economic Forums, which is WEF, Davos Agenda 2022. The World Economic Forum's Davos Agenda virtual summit hosted world leaders and heads of important institutions around the world to discuss climate action, pandemic recovery, and socio-economic resilience. So this P3 pro-planet people movement was introduced by India's Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi at the WEF, which is World Economic Forum's Davos Agenda 2022, to underline India's climate change commitments. Let's now move on to the next question. Which union ministry is implementing Gram Ujala program? Options are option A, Ministry of Power, option B, Ministry of Rural Development, option C, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, option D, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. The correct answer for this question is option A, Ministry of Power. So Gram Ujala scheme is a flagship scheme of the Union Ministry of Power. Convergence Energy Services Limited (CESL) is providing high quality LED bulbs with 3-year guarantee at a cost of 10 rupees per bulb in exchange of working incandescent bulbs. Recently, CESL, which is Convergence Energy Services Limited, has achieved a remarkable milestone of distributing 50 lakh LED bulbs under Project Crore of Gram Ujala program. So CESL in this Gram Ujala scheme is providing high quality LED bulbs with 3 years guarantee. मतलब CESL high quality LED bulbs provide करा रहा है with 3 years of guarantee and at a cost of 10 rupees per bulb. 10 रुपीज़ की कॉस्ट होगी इन एक्सचेंज ऑफ वर्किंग इनकैंडेसेंट बल्ब्स. सो इनकैंडेसेंट बल्ब्स मीन्स जो बल्ब्स चलते हों बट बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म होते हों. जब चलते हैं तो बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म होते हों, उसके एक्सचेंज में वो लोग 10 रुपीज़ पर बल्ब पे LED bulbs provide कर रहे हैं with 3 years of guarantee. And recently CESL has also achieved a remarkable milestone of distributing 50 lakh LED bulbs under Project Crore of Gram Ujala program. Moving on to the next question. The Kopal Toy Cluster KTC, which was seen in the news recently, is being developed in which state? Options are option A, Kerala, option B Karnataka, option C Andhra Pradesh, and option D West Bengal. The correct answer for this question is option B Karnataka. So Kopal is a town in the district of Kopal in Karnataka. The Kopal Toy Cluster KTC, which is being developed in the state, is the first such infrastructure in the country. The toy cluster will be operational in March 2022, spanning an area of over 400 acres of land. It will include the complete value chain from toy making, production of packaging, tool making, paint making, electronics and other accessories. So Kopal Toy Cluster, which is a KTC जो कि डेवलप हो रहा है कर्नाटका में, वो पहला ऐसा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है पूरी कंट्री में. The toy cluster will be operational in March 2022 and it spans an area of over 400 acres of land. मतलब 400 acres of land पे ये कोपाल टॉय क्लस्टर डेवलप किया जाएगा. एंड इट विल इंक्लूड द कंप्लीट वैल्यू चेन फ्रॉम टॉय मेकिंग, मतलब टॉय बनेगा भी वहीं पे, प्रोडक्शन ऑफ पैकेजिंग, पैक भी वहीं पे होगा, टूल्स भी वहीं पे बनेंगे, पेंट ऑल्सो विल बी प्रोसेस्ड देयर ओनली, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड अदर एसेसरीज. सो ये सब कुछ कोपाल टॉय क्लस्टर यानी KTC के अंदर आएगा. सो लेट्स नाउ मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which country is the first to successfully conduct a human heart transplant from a genetically modified pig? The options are option A China, option B Russia, option C USA, and option D UK. So the correct answer for this question is option C USA. Doctors at the University of Maryland Medical Center, USA has successfully conducted a human heart transplant from a genetically modified pig. David Bennett, 57, became the first person in the world to get such a heart transplant. This procedure was carried out on the basis that Mr. Bennett, who has terminal heart disease, would otherwise have died. So this is it for today, and if you like the video, please like it, share it with your friends, and also if you found these current affairs knowledgeable and informative, then do tell me in the comment section below. Till then, thank you very much.